habitats, it's Jess. Welcome back to Cystic Arts, and today on my truffle extravaganza, I'm going to be showing you guys how to turn red velvet cupcakes into amazing delicious truffles. And literally, you guys, this could not be easier. All you're gonna need is a couple of cupcakes, some cream cheese frosting, because you might have to add extra if you're not getting the consistency that you need, and then just some white chocolate for dipping. Okay, you guys, so I just went to a bakery that's literally right down the street from me, and they make amazing pastries, and I've had their red velvet before and it's delicious. And so I knew that this was gonna probably turn out real good. So literally all you're gonna do is just plop that bad boy in a bowl, and they use a lot of icing. Like, there's almost as much, actually there's probably about as much icing as cupcake here, and it's very dense icing. So I'm actually, on this one, I'm just gonna scrape it off and save it in my little container, because I might want it later, and dump that in there. I'm gonna wash my hands real quick because I just got all sticky. And now I'm just gonna take a pastry cutter. Normally you would use this to make pie crust by hand. You could, oops, I just bumped the camera. You could do this with just a fork. You could do it with a food processor, which is probably actually the easiest way to do it. I don't have a food processor. You could probably even like stick it in a KitchenAid mixer or something and just let it go for a while. But I just wanted to show you guys that you can do this by hand. You can even just use a fork and do this. And I can already tell it's pretty crumbly, so I'm gonna add about half of that icing into it. And I want to just use, I want to add the icing in small amounts, because it would be really easy for me to add too much and then they're not going to be a good consistency. And what you're looking for is just that it will hold its shape when you roll it into a ball. Now I am going to chill this as well, so it doesn't have to be perfect right now. That's much better. But I also want it to be really creamy. I don't want it to be super cakey. So I'm just gonna add just a tiny bit more. This may be like a couple tablespoons worth. So I'm happy with the consistency that it is right now. So what I want to do is just chill this probably for at least an hour, maybe longer. I want to make sure it's chilled all the way through. That will help it firm up just a little bit more to help it hold its shape when I roll it into a ball. And that will also allow the chocolate coating on the outside to harden really well, so that it doesn't all run off when I first dip them. Okay, you guys, woo! Okay, you guys, our red velvet smushed up cupcake has been in the fridge chilling for a while. And so now it's time to roll it into balls. And I'm just using a teaspoon to kind of portion it out, just to make sure my sizes are consistent. I'm using a teaspoon for all of the truffles in this series. If you want to make them bigger or smaller, you definitely can. But I thought this would be a good kind of like 2 small bites or 1 big bite. This is actually rolling really nicely. I'm impressed. I did let it chill for quite a while because I'm filming the raspberry truffle video on the same day as this, and I already went ahead and finished those. So this has probably been chilling for about 3 hours, I would say, and that's totally fine. You could chill it overnight even if you wanted to. Okay, all rolled up, and I'm gonna split them half on one tray, half on another, because I want to be able to work with them while dipping them while they're quite cold so that the chocolate solidifies on there really, really quickly. So I'm gonna put these in the freezer right now while I get ready to start melting my white chocolate to dip them in. Okay everybody, I've got my white chocolate all melted. Make sure you go and watch my video about the correct way to melt chocolate to see how I arrived here. But I'm going to go ahead and pull my first tray of truffles out of the freezer and we'll dip them. Okay, so I've just got a fork here and I'm going to get one off of my parchment lined tray and dip it in there, give it a roll around, and then I'm just going to let some of the excess drizzle off of there. You can scrape it off on the side a little bit, and then back down on the tray. And I can already tell that I'm going to need to double dip these because like this right here, but there's a little bit of the cake part showing through. That's totally fine. I planned on double dipping them anyway, so no big deal. Okay everybody, I'm about to re-dip my red velvet truffles, and I went ahead and did all new white chocolate because I got crumbs in the first batch. And I didn't really mind the way it looked. It kind of gave it a cool speckled look, but it made the chocolate kind of lumpy and weird, and I want it to be nice and smooth. So I'm going to go ahead and grab them out of the freezer, and this time to decorate them, I have some red sugar that you would use like on a cake or whatever, and I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of that on there before the chocolate has a chance to solidify. So there you have it guys, they've been dipped a second time and sprinkled with the sugar. Now I'm going to put them back in the freezer for the chocolate to solidify. Okay guys, so here is the final result for the red velvet truffle. So let's do a taste test. Tastes pretty good. The texture's a little weird. I mean, it's smashed up cake, so it's not going to be what you'd normally expect from a truffle, but it's not bad. Personally, I don't really get red velvet. It's just like chocolate with a ton of red food coloring in it to make it red. But I understand that some people really love it. I think the cream cheese frosting makes a difference in there because you don't get a super strong chocolate flavor out of it. Personally, I don't know that I would do these again unless like the person I was going to be giving them to is like a total red velvet fanatic. But they're not bad, they're just not my favorite. And they're super easy to make too. So if you or someone you know is really into red velvet, you'd probably really like these. So make sure you go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any of the rest of this series. We've got 4 more flavors to go, and I'm really looking forward to showing you how they're done. And of course, you know, giving him a taste test.